All right, so we're going to be working on volume of composite figures. We'll do surface area of composite figures in another video. So composite figures are literally just multiple figures stuck into one. So number one, we have a hemisphere, which is half of a sphere, and a cylinder. So we'll find the volume of the sphere, find the volume of a cylinder, and add them together. That's how composite figures are going to work. So the volume of a sphere is 4/3 times pi times the radius, which in this situation is 6 cubed, but we only want half of it since it's a hemisphere. Okay, so we'll go ahead and calculate that first. Okay, very sorry, don't know. There we go. So alpha y equals enter 4/3 times pi times 6 to the third, and we only want half of that. Okay, so let's say 452.39. We'll just do hundredths place. All right, now we need the volume of the cylinder, and the cylinder is pi times radius, which is still 6 squared, times the height, which is 13. So let's find that. So pi times 6 squared times 13, okay, is 1,470.27. Okay. Now composite figures, like I said, we are simply going to add them together. So add those two numbers. So 452.39 plus 1470.27. And I get 1,922.66 inches cubed. Okay. Now let's talk about number two. Number two, we have a pyramid and a prism, a square or rectangular, prism. So the square prism is a cube, and we don't have that because it has all sides. Everything is the same, so we don't have that. So let's start with the volume of the pyramid. So volume of pyramid is 1/3 times big base. Our base right here, we're just going to go ahead and find big base right here because big base is the same for both. It's the same for the pyramid and the prism. So the base is 4/4, which is 16. So we're going to use that for both of them. Times 16 times the height in this pyramid is 6. So 1/3 times 16 times 6 is 32. And then the volume of the prism is big base, 16, times the height, which is 5. And 16 times 5, I should know that off the top of my head, but is 80. And just like before, we will add those two numbers together. So 112 inches cubed. I would definitely pause the video and try 3 and 4 on your own. Just mention here number 4, open hemisphere means you'll be subtracting this out because it's kind of like a cup. It's got like a hunk missing out of it. So you'll find the cylinder, subtract the hemisphere. Okay. All right, so let's just go ahead though and pause the video. You try 3 and 4 on your own. Let's talk about number 3. In number 3 here, we've got the cone. Now we need the height of this cone. In order to find just this portion, we're going to have to take out this portion of this sphere, which a sphere, if it's got a radius of 39, it has a radius of 39 from here to here as well. So this is 39. Meaning, if we have 39 there, what's left over to make 81 is 42. So that's going to be the height of our cone. So the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi radius squared times the height. Okay, so alpha y equals 1/3 times pi times 39 squared times 42. That's a very big number. So we've got 66,897.07. Now the volume of the hemisphere. So we still got 4/3 pi radius cubed, but we only need half of it. So alpha y equals 4/3 times pi times 39 to the third. And we get 248,000. We only need half of that though. So 124,237.42. So just like before, we're still adding these together. That makes me think we've got like an upside down ice cream going on here. So 66,897.07 plus 124,237.42. We get 191,134.49 feet cubed. It's a very large cone hemisphere shape. Most shapes actually are composite figures and not just a normal kind of figure here. All right, last one, number 4. The radius for both the hemisphere and the cylinder is half of 7, which is 3.5. So let's find the cylinder first. Cylinder is pi times radius squared times height. Then we will find the volume of the hemisphere, but this time we're going to be subtracting because it is taking out the hemisphere piece. Okay, so pi times 3.5 squared times 5.5 gives us 211.66, and then 4/3 times pi times 3.5 cubed gives us 107. Oh, I need to half it, half that, because it's a hemisphere. Gives us 89.80, because that 7 rounds that up to a 0, so you have to round that up as well. And normally you wouldn't, what I like to call double rounding there. But. All right, we're going to subtract 211.66 minus 89.8. Gives us 121.86, and we don't have any units, so we just are going to write units cubed. Okay. All right, glue this in on the appropriate page. We'll finish the bottom portion at a later date.